Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is your host Thomas Tyree from On the Hot Podcast. Today, I have some bonus content for you guys. The bonus content we'll be covering today will be in the sport of baseball inside the MLB world. And in today's bonus content video for you guys, I'll be sharing my MLB power rankings. I'll be sharing what I believe are their top 5 teams currently in the MLB. I'll be ranking them from team number 5 all the way to team number 1. So we're in the first quarter of baseball. We're starting to figure out which teams are going to be the elite teams, what teams are going to hang around, try to have a chance to compete for a championship, and what teams are just going to look to rebuild and look to build towards their future and not contend this year. So in the first quarter of the MLB season, these teams are sticking out to me the most. And number 5, I have the Baltimore Orioles. And as a Yankees fan, they are making a lot of noise in the world of baseball this year. Last year was their coming out party with all the young roster that they had put together over the years of rebuilding. This year it's looking like this roster. It's paying off. Their rebuilding times are paying off. It's looking like they're going to be one of the best teams in the American League for quite some time. Like I said, they have established a young roster. I really like what they've really put together with this roster. They've been one of the hottest teams in the month of May, winning 15 games. They've beaten some of the best teams that baseball has to offer, beating they've been competing against the top teams and collecting wins and nearly winning the majority of the series against these teams: the Tampa Bay Rays, the Atlanta Braves, the Toronto Blue Jays, and the New York Yankees. They've actually knocked off every team that I just said in the series this month besides the Atlanta Braves. The Braves got the best of them in that series 2-1, but they've been hanging with the best teams in MLB in the month of May. Adley Rutschman has been one of the reasons why the Baltimore Orioles have been great. He's been great offensively. And then they have Cedric Mullins, who's having a great comeback season this year for the Orioles as well. He's batting right now at 263. He has 8 home runs and currently has 39 RBIs and 13 stolen bases. So the Baltimore Orioles are getting it done with their young players that they have on the roster. I do believe that they keep this up, that they can keep the momentum going on into the month of June. And then if they could keep this up for the second half of the MLB season after the All-Star break in July, they're going to be a hard team to beat when it matters most come playoff time. So the Baltimore Orioles are definitely meeting my expectations in the first quarter of the MLB season. At number 4, I had the Texans Rangers. So if you guys have followed the podcast over the last few months of what I've said about baseball, I've said that the Baltimore Orioles and the Texas Rangers were both going to be my sleeper teams heading into the season, and both teams have not disappointed thus far. They have been both the Texas Rangers and the Baltimore Orioles have been off to a hot start so far. The Rangers are currently impressing me a lot. They're 34-19 right now. They're currently the division leaders in the American League in the AL West. Currently in first place over top of the reigning defending World Series champions in the Houston Astros. But it's led by Josh Jung and Corey Seager. They have brought a lot of offense to the Texas Rangers lineup on a nightly basis. Their team is doing very well pitching-wise without their ace, Jacob deGrom. The pitching rotation has really stepped up for the Texas Rangers. They're looking really good offensively and defensively as a team. So if they could keep this up, I'm really surprised that they are over top of the Astros in the AL West right now. I'm very surprised that they're competing this well in the first quarter of the MLB season. But hey, I believe just like the Orioles, if they could keep this momentum going and for the month of June and in the second half of the MLB season, this team can also potentially be a wild card team that could play spoiler to a lot of top teams in the American League come playoff time. At number 3, I have the Los Angeles Dodgers. There's no surprise to anybody that the Los Angeles Dodgers are in the conversation for being one of the best teams in baseball thus far. Right now, they're off to a pretty hot start. They're 32-22, first place in the NL West. And like I said, the Dodgers, there's no surprise that they're here. They have overall, in my opinion, the best roster in baseball. They have the offensive roster of Mookie Betts. They have Freddie Freeman. They have J.D. Martinez. They have Max Muncy. They have James Ottman. They have offensive weapons that could once they're at bat, they're a threat to make against the opposing team. Anytime those players are up to bat, and they have brought a lot of success to the Dodgers thus far. Their pitching rotation is led by Clayton Kershaw, but they have some good pitching rotation prospects in their farm system. So what I've been paying attention to the pitching rotation, they have Bobby Miller, that's one of their young prospects in their farm system. He was called up to the roster last week and played very well against one of the best teams in the MLB, the Atlanta Braves. He held them to just one run in 5 innings that Bobby Miller was out there in his debut for the Los Angeles Dodgers in his first start at the Mount. And then they also have Ryan Peapot and Gavin Stone as their young pitching prospects. So the Dodgers, like I said, they have one of the best pitchers in baseball in Clayton Kershaw. They also have some young prospects that are learning from Clayton Kershaw as well. So they are loaded offensively. They have a good pitching rotation. This is going to be a good overall team that the Dodgers have once again this season. And number 2, I have the Atlanta Braves. Like I just said, they have been one of the best teams in baseball, and right now they are currently, in my opinion, the best team in the National League. Right now they are 32-21. They have been a fun team to watch thus far in the first quarter of the MLB season. They have offensive power throughout their lineup. They have Ronald Acuna Jr., who was my pick to win the National League MVP this season. They have him. They have Sean Murphy. They have Matt Olson. They have Ozzy Albies. They have a good team, and like over the last few years, they just won the World Series back in 2021. They went on a good run last year, got defeated in the second round, but they have not lost a step. They have not lost a beat of being one of the best teams in the National League. And I believe that they will keep this up for the second half of the season. I do believe they will be playing in October for the National League Championship in that best-of-7 series against whoever makes it also in the National League. But I do believe that the Atlanta Braves will be that good, and they will be in the NL Championship game come October. And number 1, I have the Tampa Bay Rays. And just like I said, being a Yankees fan, mentioning the Orioles as one of the best teams, the Tampa Bay Rays also being in the conversation for being one of the best teams makes me sick to my stomach as well. But let's call it what it is. I'm biased out that way. They have been the best team in baseball thus far in the first quarter of the MLB season. They're currently 39-17 and currently the division leaders of what I believe is the best division in baseball in the American League East. So they're off to a really hot start. They have an outstanding home record. They play very well when they're at home in Tampa. They currently have the best home record in baseball, 26 wins and 6 losses that the Tampa Bay Rays have right now, best home record in baseball. But it's all led by Yandy Diaz, their third baseman. I do believe he's one of the main reasons why the Tampa Bay Rays have been successful and been one of the best teams in baseball. His offense does not get forgotten, and he brings a lot every time he steps up to the bat for the Tampa Bay Rays. And he's one of the reasons why they have one of the best offenses in baseball. He's batting right now at .320. He has 12 home runs. He has 30 RBIs and has one of the best on-base percentages in has the best on-base percentage in baseball. Currently at 1.018. So he's bringing everything to the table for the Tampa Bay Rays. I think if Yandy Diaz keeps this up, he will truly be in the conversation amongst the top players in the American League who have a chance to win the American League MVP this year. He's been very special for the Tampa Bay Rays and one of the reasons why they've been one of the best teams in the MLB this season. But those are my top 5 teams. Those are my current MLB power rankings as we narrow through the first quarter of the MLB season. But that is all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This is your host, Thomas Tyree, signing off. And I'll see you guys on next week's episode.